Time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades, TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school. MTV playing our favorite jams, moonwalking with MJ, Neon Slam, Ghostbusters gear, we're ready to go. Chasing slasher scenes, fears in tow. Back to the future, hop in the DeLorean. Knight Rider cruising, man, there's no ignoring them. Battlestar Galactica, what a ride. Looney Tunes, antics, pure joy inside. Blockbusters ruled, we lined up for days. Video games booted up in the pixelated maze. Movie marathons and popcorn nights, we ruled the screen, living in the lights. It's time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school. Grab your joystick, the game's about to start. A high-score world, now that's an art. We're cruising on hoverboards, living our dream. Old school forever, we're igniting the scene. It's time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school.
I'm back. For good or bad, I'm back. And I'm actually here with the little Blue. You can see him down here. Let's see if we get Mr. Blue. Who's that? Who's that? Mr. Blue. There he is. There you are. He wanted to hang out with me today, I guess. Which is fine. I'm glad you guys want to hang out with me a little bit tonight, too. Desk is definitely a mess tonight. A lot of things to cover. And I'm going to go in the chat and see who's here. Very different setup, not my workbench, which I always want to do some live streams from here, but I've never really done it. And Blue has no space to sit because I have stuff all over the floor because this area is a mess. This whole basement's a mess. It's definitely going to happen at some point where I got to get this basement fixed. It's been like 6 years since I had the flood down here, and I've been afraid to fix it and have another flood come and ruin it. In any case, I want to thank you guys all after a few weeks of me needing, I guess, a YouTube and really social media sabbatical. I was offline of everything. I was off of Facebook. I was off of YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, the whole smash, as they say. I just needed to get away, but I missed it. There's no question I missed. I miss you guys on Fridays. You know, it was hard on Friday nights not being here. But I'm back, and I'm glad you guys are back. Can we go to the chat real quick here, see if I can answer some questions of people who did stuff down here. Let's see. JJ had asked if we had given any thought to making replacement power supplies. I have a lot of ideas of things I want to do. It's just my team's really not big enough to do all different things I want to do. I want to do perfect recreated Atari 5200 joysticks that actually work, giving the option of self-centering and not, but actually being the exact replica of the joystick. But there could be issues with Atari, so maybe I can make the guts that you could put in a regular joystick. In any case, one of the things that I've thought about over the years, we want to talk about power supplies, and which is actually a good thing. Oh, Blue, look at you, poor. What are you doing down here? You got to be cold. You got to be cold there, buddy. Well, I'll get him a better spot next time. I didn't get a chance to bring his bed down or anything like that. I'll have to do that next time. But anything's a possibility. I'm always open to making sure these old consoles, these old systems continue working long into the future. So that's a possibility. Green Sem 87. Why, hello there. Hello there back. We got Rich here. Hey, Glenn, happy Friday. Welcome back. Yeah, I think I'm back. I'm kind of like lost on like what this show should be. Tonight, I'm obviously going to be trying to bring this Apple II back from the dead. I had a friend who'll get into it a little bit, who gave me a hand, and we believe this board is working. We're going to go over that and maybe put it in, and maybe it'll actually work. We'll find out. We have RJ here. My favorite YouTuber's back. Let's kick it. I am definitely back. I'm still trying to get into the groove, the feeling of it. I feel very discombobulated with a lot of things now. I don't know where I fit in, basically. So I'm trying to figure that out myself at this point. Sean is here. Good evening, fellas. John Fritz, good evening, everyone. Of course. 720, Eric. Any word on the 720 joystick? Actually, I wasn't going to talk about it tonight until I saw your message there. So this right here is probably the closest to the prototype production unit we have. It has the proper working of the 720 joystick here, and it does work, and it's got different bearings in here, so it doesn't like free spin as easy as it did on the previous one. It was almost like a Tempest that would spin forever. But I still don't feel it's right. So I talked back to my team. They got to get a little different bearings. I'm not saying it's got to be stiff, but normally this had a chain and gears on it. And when you turned it, there was resistance. I just don't feel that same resistance. I kind of want to get that feeling there. But it does work in 720. I just suck at the game. So the answer is, yeah, we're pretty ready. But I want to dial in the feeling of this stick. So stay tuned. Still doing work on the 720 joystick. As soon as I get more information, I'll let you guys know. We have Kellel 64. Hello, everyone. MSU Rich. Good evening, everyone. Let's see here. Rich is saying, we'll always be here waiting, Glenn. And I appreciate that. You know, I got to say, I got a ton of emails, personal emails. I had a lot of people hitting me up on Facebook. People were calling me, people sending me text messages, and that did help. It did help. So I appreciate all of you guys doing that, letting me know that, you know, you guys think I matter. And I really appreciate that. And that's kind of what gives me the drive here. I don't do this show for money. You know, I don't ask for people to join Patreon. I don't ask for people to pay to do shows just for you. The show should be for everyone. It should be free of charge. All the products I don't make any money on, but I enjoy them, and I enjoy when I see people enjoying them as well. So for me, just the fact that you guys are here and tell me you want me to continue the show meant a lot to me, and that's kind of why I'm back, even though I'm not quite sure what my show is supposed to be anymore. But I'm sure I'll figure that out. We have, let's see here. John Fritz, I think I got Song Time. We got Song Time. Green Sem 87 here. Where else would we go? I don't know, but I'm glad you're here. I do appreciate that. We're showing here again. I won't pretend to have a life, Glenn. Well, that makes all of us. I mean, we don't have lives in relationship to our friends. We don't have lives in relationship to family and friends. If you're just by yourself, you have nothing. So I appreciate you guys every week, and I appreciate sticking by me. I do. Even when I have my little tantrums, I do appreciate it. And KLL64, just an FYI, and I do know this. Glenn, you still have an upcoming live stream at the same time from New Wave Toys. Like I said, I got off social media. I got off of everything, so I didn't go in and change it. So it is still there. But New Wave Toys did have their own show about 40 minutes ago about the Golden Tee. You might want to check that out maybe after the show and go over to the New Wave Toys channel. They did a nice job. They have a much nicer set that I have behind me here showing the Golden Tee, and it looks pretty damn nice. I mean, it does. Mortal Kombat 2 is out. So Green Sam is asking, has anyone seen it? I know that Glenn Bays is seeing, I think, tomorrow. I know Rex saw it the night before, and some people are seeing it tonight. Tim is seeing it tonight. So I've heard pretty good things about it. Maybe I'll go see that. It's supposed to be a rainy day tomorrow, so I'll have to wait and see. Mr. Clutch, thanks for the Kickstarter update. The FU is looking great. It really is. And, no, I do apologize. I was starting to get some hits in my email saying, Glenn, listen, it's been a while since an update. Now, the FU, I pretty much did an update at least once a month. There's been 2 times where it was like 2 months. Obviously, this past one was 2 months. And I think it was like in like November. I skipped December, went right to January. It was January to March. I skipped February. But outside of that, I've done a lot to make sure the Kickstarter was always updated. A lot more than other people have done. But I do understand people want to know. I was just waiting for some pictures, something I could show you guys. But I felt, all right, let me post it on Revenge of the Sith Day. So I did post that update. And then, of course, today, if you haven't seen it, I did drop a video today about the FU and some of the new features on that. And it looks like everyone's excited about it again. Again, I'm not trying to be a perfectionist with it, but I am trying to make sure that the product is the best it absolutely can be. And that's what I want other companies to see, is when you release something, put in the effort to make a product come out really good. Now, of course, I've been adding more things to it, and I think I've pretty much added all the things I can do without basically losing money on the machines. We're pretty close to that as it is with the tariff and the RAM prices and everything else. But I still feel like I want this to be as good as it can be. I added a couple features that people asked in Kickstarter because we listen, and I want people to see that we do listen. And there's probably some stuff that'll come post. So once people get machines, other things may start coming. Well, other things definitely coming out. But one of the things I do want to make at some point is, right now with the 19-inch, we have an electronic rotating screen, and the 26-inch you got to move by hand. So we now added the tilt, 45 degrees to 90-degree tilt on the screen. And eventually I want that to be powered. So right now it's almost like a Unico. You got to do it yourself. But I would like that to be when you play a light gun game, the screen just comes right up for you. When you play a regular game, the screen goes back down. So that's something I'm hoping to do in the future. Sean is very excited for the FU. Meatball Saucy. I really like the song. It's a very catchy song. I have to admit, it really is. Steven did a really good job with that. Sir Sega's here. Good evening, Glenn. I watched the latest FU update video. Looking good. Thank you. Wait to see this thing done completely. It's going to be phenomenal. And we've made a lot of enhancements to it, to the strength, to how it's being built. The electronics, the Viper Venom is finally done. And Blue fell asleep. Blue is still here. I can't believe he's still here. This little guy. He's just down here. Oh, I woke him up. Well, he's still here. Let's go back to over here with this. It's like that. Vet 1981 is here with a retracted message. I'm sure it was saying FU Glenn, which is fine. I don't mind people saying FU to me. Hobby Hands, I need to know if this is the real Glenn. It is. And actually no audio problems as far as I know. So is it real? Am I AI? Did I spend the past 2.5 weeks making a virtual me? Who knows? But there's been no audio problems. Let's see here. Video Game Vegas. We love Glenn. Hard for Kickin'it Old Skool. Well, we're gonna try and bring back this Apple II to life. We're gonna get into that in a little bit, but I'm gonna go through obviously the chat. Really good. John J, good to see you, Glenn. It's good to be back. I'm gonna be honest. I felt kind of shitty not being here. It felt like a piece of me was missing. I really enjoy talking to you guys on Fridays, so I'm glad I'm back too. I just did need I think I needed a little break. What do we got right here? Was it MTS 77. I'm getting normal glasses on. I'm using my cell phone here. It's really difficult here. The show is for you, Glenn, kind of like we do for the FU. That's right. Hell's yes. Vet 81. Love and always look forward to Fridays with you. In the winter, I miss a lot of Fridays due to plowing, which I can get. Well, I assume you're not talking about the girlfriend. I think it means snow, but okay. In Ohio. Hell yeah, in Ohio, you're going to get some snow. 720 Eric, the 720 stick feels really good in the game. It does. I just suck at it. So I need someone who really knows the game who will give us feedback. And again, it's firmware updatable, so we can always change the firmware. So it's not going to be a big deal if that does happen to happen. John Fritz is asking, any recommendations where I could pick up an Apple IIe and drives? I lost mine in a flight 5 years ago. That does suck. I don't. This Apple II, I'm going to get into in a minute, I kind of fell into my lap. And it's a pretty cool one. If it works, it's going to be even more amazing. Meatball Saucy here. Let's see. Chain and gears was good, but 720 can be played with so many different types of control adaptations. Well, I agree. I just want it to kind of have the same resistance. It still feels like it's a little bit light on that turn. I wanted to at least that to be a little bit more in there. J330, hey everyone. New Wave Toys, Video Game Vegas. The New Wave Toys Golden Tee looks good. Well, it looks good. I have to admit, the Replicade looked even better than I thought when I saw the video. And I do like the fact that they are able to do dual displays. I know, Blue, the fool's got to be cold, buddy. I know. You're able to have the display on the Replicade at the same time you're doing the HDMI out. And the little mini trackball looked really good. And it just looks like a good little unit. It does. I know some people shit on it for the longest time because it was Golden Tees, but done over and over again. But if you really look at the video, the machine looks pretty damn amazing. So my hat off, to, I guess, Peter and, everyone else over at New Wave Toys, Eduardo, and obviously Shiloh, that was his baby. So it's probably this and Crystal Castles are going to be more special because those are the last two Shiloh really, was trying to get out. I do miss Shiloh a lot. There's definitely a hole in the community because of that. But I think that Peter and Eduardo is going to make sure that that Golden Tee does come out proper. I think we got everything else out here. Let me see. All right. King Pepper was on the old stream. Sorry about that. So I think we got through all the live chat. So I want to talk about this for a second. So I had gotten this. Well, actually, before I get to that, so my buddy Tim, who's watching Mortal Kombat 2 tonight, sent me this. I never actually owned a Commodore 64. I never did. I've emulated it in a lot of different ways, and I have the Mini. What are you doing, Blue? I had the Minis and the Joystick. But I'll have fun cleaning this one up and see how this thing works and play with the Commodore 64. Tim has sent me a number of things. He sent me an Odyssey 2. He sent me a TI 994A. He sent me the Atari 800. He sent me a ton of stuff. A little mini pinball machine. He's a great friend, and we're going to be hopefully meeting up soon again out in Cleveland, perhaps. But this is something I would dig into. He sent me this in a power supply. I don't have any software, but it should at least boot up in the basic. So I'm going to put this out of the way, hopefully, and not cause any damage. I have no room. I have just no room anywhere. So this is what I want to show you guys here. So this kind of fell into my lap, quite literally. Oh, it's heavy. And that's this Apple II. Now, what's kind of special about this Apple II is the serial number is 9,430. So it's under 10,000. Under 10,000 out of millions of these being produced. And this one was actually made in 1978, October of 1978. So it's a Rev 2 motherboard. So basically, I had a motherboard. The first revision is this. And so it's actually pretty special. Unfortunately, when I got it, it was pretty dead. Now, a lot of times when you get these machines, chips maybe got dislodged, maybe press down on the chips. Sometimes you have to detox it, which I did pull out every single chip in here, which probably wasn't a good idea. I'll get into that. I pulled every chip out of here. I used Detox It 5 on this, and I got an oscilloscope. I used a Logic probe right here, Logic probe, but I bought an oscilloscope. And this gentleman named, a lot of people in the Apple groups tried to help me. So I had gotten a lot of ideas. I was getting no video out of here, but I was getting video off of this port here. The interesting thing about the Apple II is it's really two types of systems on one board. On this section here, it's basically a dumb terminal display. Back in the day, you used dumb terminals, and you would connect up your electronics to a dumb terminal for the display. So this part worked. I would get sometimes garbage on the screen. And the garbage looked like, well, it was trying to do something. The CPU, which is right here, was initializing. The crystal down here was given the right, I think, 7.14 megahertz for the NTSC signal. Just always petting blue over here. Don't worry about it. And we have our memory banks. We have 16, 32, 48K right here. We have our keyboard interface down here. Oh, my 3D printer just stopped, so that's good. I got to check on that later. But we couldn't get this thing to work. It was doing really weird things. So we thought, okay, maybe it was the memory. So what I did was I removed all the RAM chips completely out of here. And I removed these RAM packs, which tell it how much memory is in the machine. And I left just 16K. It didn't seem to make a difference. I swapped all the RAM between all different areas. I took the ERAM, put it to C, the DRAM into C, and still didn't really make much of a difference. I removed the EEPROMs, the BIOS chips over here. Now, this is so early. This is using Steve Wozniak's custom BASIC that he wrote. And that was, I think, a non-integer BASIC. But I also have this RAM card here, which has the integer BASIC. So this won't even boot a disk image. You'd have to write commands to do so. If I put this in and switch it to the ROM set, then it would boot the images. And I do have the disk 2 interface card, but I don't have a disk drive. So I either have to track down a disk drive, or I have been looking around for, floppy emulators I could possibly use. So I may figure that out at some point. So today, the only thing we'll be able to do is actually see if the Apple II logo comes up, and I can type in basic print something. Because before I got nothing but garbage on the screen. Now, if I take this over here, now, like I said, I came in and I removed all the chips, because that's normal 101 you would normally do, is take out chips, make sure there's no corrosion on them, make sure the pins are good. But in this thing, it was probably not a good idea, because Apple was, well, a cheap company, believe it or not, back then. These weren't gold plated, these are tin plated. So these things got corrosion up the Wozniak, if you will. So a lot of things were corroded. So even though chips you can normally pull out, not going to be a big problem, these corroded chips got quite brittle. And the couple of issues that ran into was, I believe, let me see, I got to find it right now. I got to look up here a little bit, see which one it is. This one. So this RAM chip right here, which is in E3, which is kind of cool about this. You have A through K and then 1 through 14 over here. But in this one here, I've lost it already because I'm old. E3, I must have bent the socket. So the cool thing about the Apple II is everything's socketed, and Wozniak liked that because you could do all kinds of things to it. But somehow I must have bent the chip on the socket. I was still getting contact, but it was annoying me. So Dave actually replaced that for me. He put a new socket in. It doesn't quite match. It's a little bit off because the socket isn't made anymore that they used. But at least that's working. And the E-ROM, the E8 ROM, apparently when I pulled that out, well, it didn't look like it. Apparently this first pin here, I could be doing this too, helping you guys see this a little bit better. Even I have it here. Let's bring this over here. So this is the E8 right here. And you can see there's a little solder blob right at the corner because apparently that pin broke. So he actually resoldered it on. And if you can see here, it's raised. So he put it in what's called a carrier socket. So if you ever remove this chip, you want to remove the carrier socket, not the chip, because the chip probably will not survive being removed again. But he was able to salvage it. Oh, there goes Blue. I think he's finally had enough. Go upstairs, buddy. Go take a nap. Go ahead. Go upstairs. Come on. Go to bed. Go to bed. They'll see you next week. Or you can just keep staring at me. Oh, okay. Go up, buddy. So that's another thing he fixed over here. So you can see right here. Oh, yeah. I was trying to, I thought maybe the processor went bad, which is this right here. So I replaced with a different processor, but that made no difference. And of course, I bought all new RAM, which you can see right here, bought all new RAM chips, but not all the, most of the RAM was actually good, which is surprising. These NEC chips were actually good. There was only a few that were bad, and that's kind of what I had over here. So these are the bad parts. And there were like 8 chips that were bad. So the fact that the RAM chips were bad should have still gotten me something on the screen. But it turns out some of the logic chips. So there's a lot of like TTL logic chips on the board. So somewhere on here, I have to go back and he gave me whole detailed information. Some of these control chips, logic chips were bad. So there was no way in the world I was going to get this thing operational again. But right now, it looks like we have everything working here. This is where we're going to connect our keyboard. They actually used a chip socket for the keyboard. And that's going to be this right here. And we have 16K, 32K, 48K, so it's a full machine. Plus, there's actually some memory on these boards here. So I'm not sure if that brings up to 64K or not. But I don't know a ton about Apple and how it works. I know a lot about Apple. I used it in 77, 78 as a kid in elementary school. Even the joystick, this thing's so old, the joystick port is literally an empty socket. So you would plug your paddle controllers into here, and the joysticks were just 2 paddles, kind of like what the 5200 did with like an analog joystick. So that's what that is over here. Now here's the video out, which I never got working, but I think he has it working now. But I was using this here, which is like a header for it. And then we have our tape interfaces, our 8-bit data bus over here, our power cord, which is over here. And it's a very simple computer. I mean, that's pretty much it. So what we're going to do at this point is I'm going to try and, well, I'm going to take this off the table. And I'm going to move my Build-A-Cade here out of the way because I need to make some room. And I'm going to move these guys out of the way as well in a safe spot, I hope. I hope, because I got no room anywhere. Put it down. But I'm actually going to show you here something real quick. I can show you this real quick too. So this is how most connectors are made. You can see here they're gold, right? They're gold on here to prevent corrosion. But now look at this and look at the Apple ROM cart. They used tin. And this thing corrodes like crazy. This is when you always use your pencil eraser. You have to go in every once in a while and use a pencil eraser to clean this up and fix it. But it's just the nature of the beast. This sucker's going to corrode no matter what. Unless you get it gold plated, which is not going to happen because then it wouldn't be original. Now, that was the other big thing I had when this wasn't working. I had a lot of people in the Apple forum saying, listen, I'll give you an Apple II board and a couple $100 for this board. And they wanted to do that because if you look right up here in the top corner, you could see that, what's it? I look at myself now, 7843, which means this was manufactured in 1978, the 43rd month, which is October. So this is, I said, serial number 9430. So it's actually a very valuable board. So it wasn't about, I just want to get any board to get it working. I'm a collector. And I happened, this dropped in my lap that this is not an incredibly valuable one, but it's quite rare to get a under 10,000 Apple II in working condition, which it was not. So some chips are not going to be original anymore for that reason. But any computer from that era, it's going to be hard to find all the chips still working. The majority worked. Only 8 chips out of all these chips did go bad. So Jim took about 3 or 4 days checking this whole thing out. And he believes right now it is working. So I'm going to take this off the table, and we're going to reassemble this Apple step by step. And we're going to plug it in, connect it to my TV set I have over here. We'll change the camera angle over there. Turn it on, and hopefully instead of getting garbage down the screen, which I still may, sometimes, and this is so old, I think you had to do the reset button on here or control reset on it to clear the screen buffer. But we'll get an Apple II logo. And maybe I could type 10 print GRS 20 go to 10 and we'll see it work. That's what I'm hoping for. I spent better part of a month going back trying to figure this out myself and working with Jim through Instant Messenger in Facebook. And I know I was frustrating him because he's very smart. He actually worked for Apple back in the day. He would repair these back in the day. And he's explaining stuff, but I'm still basically an infant when it comes to an oscilloscope. I'm learning. I've worked on a lot of machines, But usually the repairs are fairly simple. You replace a chip, you find a bad chip, you got a bad trace, you fix the bad trace, things along those lines. This was way too involved. I never would have found this without replacing every damn chip on the board. But the good part is the motherboard itself, which is probably the most valuable part here, works, supposedly. So I'm going to take this off the table for right now. And Blue is still here. You probably want to see what I'm doing with this board. Please don't sniff it too much, Blue. And I'm going to take the cover off this Apple II. So the cover has already been disassembled. I'm going to move this and try and find a spot for this. My God, man. Got no room. But we're going to do the best we can. Yeah, that looks safe. And I'm going to bring up here the main housing. And this is all metal. And you can see here 9430. I'm going to turn this upside down. This should be okay. You should see 9430 on that. Hopefully you can. I can't even see it, so I can't tell if you can see it. 9430. There we go, 9430. So this is serial number 9430. So this machine is, pretty original old. Even the power supply is manufacturing date, October 11th of 1978. That's when this was manufactured. Now, this actually is not the cleanest. There's some hair on it still. I'll probably should clean that off. And in fact, I'm going to do that. Now, here's a speaker. The speaker was actually flying loose in here. The glue had come off. So I did re-glue that. So the glue is not original. But do I have one of my clean static-free wipes over here? I used to have them over here. Oh, you try and prepare for a show and still don't prepare everything. So just give me 1 second. I want to just clean this up a little bit. All right, it's going to bug me if I don't. And these are plastic standoffs on here and the main screw on here. And the power supply was tested. So I actually, when I first got this, I thought the power supply might be bad. And it turns out the voltages were actually spot on, which is, since this power supply is one of the original ones, they built them better before they started making them cheap. So the capacitors, everything in this thing, and if you know anything about computer history, this is probably the first case where a computer used a switching power supply, which basically means the power gets turned on and off, on and off, on and off really, really fast. And they did that to keep it cool. Otherwise, you used to have those big rectifiers in there. Like if you go to an arcade machine, the heat would blast you in the face when you opened it up because it was running hot because it was always running. Well, this switched on and off so quick, it actually kept the power from getting overheat. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to get some wipes. I want to try and clean this up here a little bit. And I'll get Blue a treat because he's just staring at me. So come on, let's go upstairs, Blue. Come. Go, 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 go. Let's get the go, 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 go. Come on. Come on. Go, go, go. Okay, I am back. And I'm going to give us just a quick, it's like sandpaper. If you can hear that. Is this necessary to do? Not really. But once I put this motherboard down, again, these are all plastic here. And I got lucky, I got them off, but who knows if they'll survive doing it again. So I'd rather just, if I get some dust out of here a little bit, I'm going to do that. And surprising, this is actually metal. The top, the plastic case was the first time, I believe, that home computers, because they were pretty new. You had this. You have the original TRS-80, which I do own on the shelf up here. Original TRS-80 Model 1. And, of course, the Commodore PET. And they were pretty much all made out of, well, not metal. I mean, the TRS-80 was plastic. But I think Apple claims to be the first one to do a plastic injector molded case. But the TRS-80 had that one as well. And I do believe the TRS-80 Model 1 was out right before the Apple II. I feel a little bit better about that. And there we go. Okay. So we did that. Get that out of the way. Let's see what we got going over here. Let's go back to this. Okay, so now that we have this over here, it's basically, I'm going to take this one screw off of here and this one little nut, and basically we're going to put the motherboard down, and hopefully everything's going to go smooth. Clean the garbage off of these wires too. It's a little exciting. It's exciting. I mean, Apple II is one of those computers that, you know, it's pretty historic. And back in the day, it was quite expensive. So you had to have some buku bucks to get it. And that's why people started buying, obviously, Ataris and everything else. So this is probably the most dangerous part we're going to do. Got to line all these bad boys up as best I can. I got to be careful about it. Yeah, we got that one lined up. I got that one lined up. Yeah, this is fun as nuts. Fun as nuts. What we got going on down there? There should be one right there. There we go. I think we got it. Got that one. Just gotta get this one here. All right. Making progress. Making progress. All right, that was probably the scariest part of this whole thing, was just getting that down, because you're pretty much going to be flexing the board to do that. But, you know, I will say these old machines are usually a little more tolerant of that than modern machines are. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this little washer on here. And just going to hand tighten this screw now. And then we're going to connect our speaker wire, which is quite important. So that's going to go right over here. Okay. And this again is where our keyboard's going to go. And we have our power supply here, which is our plus and minus 5 and 12 volts and ground. And it does only go in one way. All right, so we have our power supply back in. Our board is down. That's still pretty scary, to be quite honest. What I can do is I can just plug it in at this point, but I think I want to put the case on it and get the keyboard on as well, because without the keyboard, if this thing does require you know, that control reset, it wouldn't work without it. So let me do that here as well. So I'm going to turn back around. The cool thing is you can take the lid off, get access to all the slots back here. Not the sluts, the slots. And then we have the case. Now, when I was talking about before, I wasn't able to get any video at all out of this external video connector, but I was getting it off of here. And I always wondered why, because you see right in here, there was a super mod device right there. You can see it's got the pigtail. That's how I was getting video out of it, but it was only showing me the teletype screen, the dumb terminal screen, nothing else. But he's saying I should be getting video out of that now, so we'll see. He did also mention, though, that the Apple's NTSC signal sometimes had issues with some TVs. Maybe that's why that's in there, to give it a better, more locked-in signal. But you can see the keyboard underneath here, which I'll have to clean at some point once I know it's working. And you can see it's just literally a socket with a cable off it. This is how you did things back in the day, I suppose. So we're going to remove, I got some screws here I got to take out. I kept all the screws in the exact spot they were in, because I don't want to take a chance of any cross-threading or anything getting screwed up like that. So I'm going to take this all out and put them down over here. in the exact spots that they were. And blue's coming down again, which is so unusual. Why are you coming back down, bud? Need my screwdriver here. We'll unscrew this carefully. Now, they did at least use copper cores in the plastic, which is good. I'm very nervous turning this thing on. Jim definitely knows what he's doing. Like I said, he worked for Apple for a number of years, and he wrote this whole thing out and everything. I'm reading it. It's like hieroglyphics to me, I think. Guys, he wants me so bad to understand it, and I want to understand it myself because I know I could, but I don't understand it yet. And it's like going to another country, and you kind of know what "niet" and "da" means, but everything else you don't. And you're kind of like, and it doesn't make sense. And that's where I am at, I think, at this point. But I want to get better. All right, so I'm almost done. I got to remove these screws from the keyboard front area. So Apple did a nice job as far as the case went. It definitely could take a beating. And I do remember in magazines, when they used to, promote the GRS 80, the Commodore PET, and obviously the Atari units and Apple. I'll never forget there was an ad. They always had the Apple II. Someone had a fire. And the Apple II was half melted, but it still worked. And that was one of the things they the case melted, the house burned down to the ground, but they plugged their Apple II in and it worked. Now, when I plugged mine in, it didn't work. So, but of course, we're talking 1978 versus 2026. And this machine that was given to me, well, I shouldn't say given to me. I did pay $100 for it. It was unknown working. It was in a basement that was very moldy, and the case definitely showed that there was some water around it for sure, the corrosion. But if it's working after all this, I'll give them a tip of the hat for that. All right, so technically all my screws are out, so I don't have too much more time to stall. I'm going to carefully plug this keyboard connector in and line this up as best I can. Gotta be very careful doing this. Of course, they don't give you a lot of room to work with. Why would they, right? So I'm gonna have to block your views for a second, fellas, because I can't see here very well at all. I definitely don't want to put this in wrong. That's all I need is to have this and I fry it because the keyboard was in wrong. All right, the keyboard is in. So technically, I should be able to plug this in. I'm a little nervous and kind of fire it up. So, okay, I need to plug in. Well, I thought it was kind of fitting. I have a Atari video cable that came out of an Atari 800. So this came from the same era, 1978. So I thought it was kind of fitting to use this particular cable as the video out to the TV's video in. So I am going to do just that. I'm going to run this over to here, and I'm going to move this one camera a little further down and over. So there's a TV set playing Robbie Roto. So I'm going to unplug the video in, just like so. And I'm going to plug in this cable. That's got to be the loosest connection ever. Hopefully the cable works. I guess we're going to find out. And I'm going to plug this into the back of the Apple carefully with everything I have right here. I'm going to try the video connector on the back because I think he said that this is working now, so we'll find out. Okay, that's plugged in. I'm going to move this out of the way. So now the only thing to do now is plug in power. Now, unfortunately, I probably do have an old one. This is more modern, but it's the same cable that we use today. It's the the 3-pronger. So I'm going to plug this in and get power from back here. somewhere. And unplug, I'm going to plug you, buddy. Come here, you. Okay. So this is coming down to the final moments, fellas and ladies and gentlemen and everyone else in between. And I didn't even check, to be honest, I didn't even check to see if the, dropping everything here. I didn't even check to see if the power supply was on or off, so I should check that first. Right? I don't want to take a chance of screwing something else up here, so let's do a quick check. It's in the off position. I'm going to plug this in. Okay, carefully plug it in. All right. So the only thing left to do at this point is to plug this, turn on this Apple II computer and see if we get a display of some kind over there. And I'm trying to remember, I think it was control reset. If it does come up with garbage, to reset the memory buffer, because again, this is running an original Apple Basic that Wozniak designed back for the original Apple. So I see in the chat here, give me a 1. Give me a 1 if we're all ready in the chat to turn this thing on and see if we're going to light this fire up, or Glenn, walk away now and don't even bother. Don't try it. Blue, they're giving me 1s, buddy. They're giving me 1s, Blue. All right, so, I do what my fans want. So we are going to give this thing a try. I'm going to move this a little bit closer. Get the best view we can get. Right over here. Let's tilt this up a little bit. All right, now, if nothing happens, we should at least hear a beep. So hopefully we hear a beep. I couldn't even get a beep out of it. But the video cable could be bad. And this video cable is old. So hopefully there's no smoke. JJ, let's hope there's no smoke. But the power light always went on. I'm going to move this back a little bit so maybe you can see that power light. I don't know if I go back any further, but I'm going to try. I don't want to hit anything here. Come here, you. Okay, you can just see it. So here's the power light. That always worked. That always went on. But here we go. I'll get the finger on the trigger. And we're going to find out if this 1978 Apple II is at least coming back to life to a point. 1, 2. Holy shit! We got the beep. And there is at the top of the screen. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can. I don't know if I can get any closer for you guys. Maybe I can zoom that in. Let me see if I can zoom that in. I gotta find which one it is. Is it this one? Yes. Let's see if we can zoom that in a little bit here. There is an Apple II logo right there. Now there is a little distortion on the screen. You can kind of see it right, like right there, at the very top. But that's most likely the cable of the TV. This thing has not been working who knows how long. But Jim Davis in the Apple II forum, I shipped it to him. He's he's used to work from Apple, and he did it, and the external video works. So I don't need to use the secondary video. I'm not even sure why it's there, but holy crap! So if I don't know if the keyboard works. Let me type some things on the keyboard. We got that springy shit where it does multiple presses. 2, 3 appears to not be working. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Hit the reset button. Does control reset it? It does. So the 3 key does not appear to be working. So that's something I probably have to clean. And let's see if Q works. Q, E works. R, we definitely have to clean these keys. It's T, Y, U, I, O, P. Let me see if I can adjust the contrast, because I think the contrast is so bad you guys can't see anything. I think I can adjust that. configure video. Let's try this. I think that's a little better. Can I do a manual focus here? I think you could see that better. Hopefully you can see that better. So let's see, what did we leave off on? P. We have A, S. Oh, S really sticks. D, F, G, H. It's definitely throwing some weird letters out too, but I think that's just because these keys are just so dirty. K, L. We have shift. The right shift isn't working. Does left shift work? Left shift works, right shift does not. The arrow keys both work. Z is bringing up E. X is bringing up multiple letters. C seems to work. V. So we definitely have some issues with the keyboard. Now there is logic chips on the keyboard. Okay, so we have a couple of keys that don't work. We have a couple of keys that don't work. Oh, too long. Let me see if I can type this. 10. Oh, not 110. No. How do you go back now? I think it's just you have to go to the back arrow. Oh my goodness. No. No. All right, so the machine works, but now the keyboard is probably going to need some TLC. I didn't even think about sending out the keyboard. Let me try doing 20. 20. No, I want that. I want a space. Back. It's typing some with no letters. So looks like, yeah, it could be contact cleaner. Like I said, the good thing about the keyboard is it looks like you can remove the membrane to get to the switches on the back. It's not immediately the membrane, it's just the cover. But I may have to pull out all these and do some detox it for sure in here. But the machine is actually working. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to put in that BIOS card. I have no idea what that BIOS card does. So let's turn this thing off. It goes to sleep. There we go. And I'm going to add in this BIOS card. You can see it right here. Like so. And I have no idea what it does other than it's a different BIOS. I don't know. There's a switch on it. I'm going to leave it in the A position. So I'm going to put this into the first slot, which is where I had found it, right here. Let me take this out of the screen so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. So I found it in this slot when I received it. So I'm going to put it down in here. And that's it. There was no bracket. You just literally just sit them in, and it's in. So I'm going to move that screen back over here for a second. And I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to turn it on in the A position. And let's see what we get. Okay, we have the Apple II again. I don't know if there's any difference. I have no way to really know. I'm going to try typing again. Let's do 20. Where are my quotes? Nope. Nope. Come on, keyboard. Work with me, keyboard. Work with me, keyboard. No! Come on, get rid of these letters. No, I don't want these weird letters. Stop that. Oh. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get the quotations. You can't even do the simple test. I know syntax error. 20. No. Nope. Stop at the E's. Get rid of the E. There's no delete key. There's repeat. Escape. Yeah, I don't know what to do it. I know it's to erase it with the space bar, but keep putting there we go. Come on, give me a quote. Give me a quotation. Come on. Give me a quotation. No! Oh, this could be an all-nighter. All right. Well, we know it's working. I'm going to turn it off one more time. I'm going to flip that switch and see if it makes any difference. So let's turn this thing back off. John Fritz says, I might be in AppleSoft Basic right now. It could be. I want to see the difference. I'm going to go back to the original position. Now I'm in the B position. And let's see. John Fritz is saying slot 1 is usually where the 16K language card sat. And that's what this is supposed to be, I believe. So that's correct. So I'm in slot 1. Not slot 1, slot 1. So John Fritz, thank you for that. Mikey Yoon, how we doing, buddy? Okay, so we're now in the B position. And I'm not sure if I noticed any difference. Let's see. Oh, I got a quote. Oh! Come on. Holy shit. I typed some commands. Does it work? Does it work? Done. 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 Holy shit! R-U-N-R. Oh, no, I messed up the R-N. Come on. All right. Give me a thumbs up or give me a 1 if you think my command is actually going to work. I don't know which version of Basic I'm in. I'm not sure if this is AppleSoft Basic or the other one is. I don't know. But I was able to type 20 print GRS and 40 go to 20. So I'm going to hit return and hopefully we got a basic command to work even though the keyboard's a little screwed up. Here we go. I got a 0 from Hobby Hands. What? J-Rod says, let's go. Let's do it. Here's return. Oh, we got our first basic command. Look at that. If you could see it, because the contrast is so bad. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to try messing with the contrast again. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And let's go back to here and configure the video. And let's see if we can do this here. Contrast is not making too much of a difference. Brightness. Come on, brightness. Well, you can't make it out. It does say GRS, and I don't know if I can break out of this by hitting break. Oh, you see there's a wall of white lines. That's what I figured. Let me see if I can get this thing at all to where you guys can kind of see what I see. Oh, as I unplugged the damn video. Whoa, unplugged the video because Glenn is a jerk and plugged it under it, you dummy. There you go. All right, that's all the cable I have. Come on. There we go. I don't know if you can kind of make that out at all. There we go. It's printing GRS, 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 GRS. I'm not sure how to break out of it, though. I don't assume a Control-C works. Oh, it did! Holy shit! Control-C actually worked. It stopped. So if I type R-U-N, which I got to get rid of that last one. Hopefully you can see that, kind of. There it goes. So I'm going to take this as a win. The machine is actually booted up. So the one other thing I'm going to plug in, because, well, it had it, was I have the Disc 2 card, Of course, I don't have anything to actually connect to it. But I'm going to turn off the machine. It is now off. And this was in this slot here, wasn't it? Because I'm doing it backwards, dummy. Yes, it was. It was in the last slot here. So that's it. So I'm going to turn it on. It's probably not going to make any difference. Let's turn it on. I'll get you back to over here so you guys can see I'm turning it on, of course. Back to this very dark TV. This is making me happy. I love bringing old things back from the dead, even though I didn't bring it back from the dead. But hopefully you can see Apple II. Let me turn off the light. Maybe the lights in here are making it harder to see. I could try and turn that off. Can you guys make out Apple II or still too blurry? It might be a little too blurry. But can I type a command again? There we go. So, okay. So this one I had hit Control Reset. I've got to do that. I'm going to do that again. So this might be Wozniak's basic. And that is now in the B position, which I think is using on the motherboard. Turning it on. Again, Apple II, but there's no prompt. There's no prompt. But if I hit Control Reset, now I get the prompt. So this is Wozniak's basic. TV is too bright. I got to wear shades. I can't see anything in here. I cannot see anything. I'll have to use my cell phone of power here. And, ooh. Let me see if I can type a command again and do 20. There's no caps lock. That sucks. Oh, it's close enough. Okay, we're able to get our first command in, which is print GRS Friday night. And then we'll do line 40. So basically, what I just did before, turn that off. But the TV is still too bright. Maybe try the contrast again. Give me a second here. If you put the card in slot 7, then PR number 7 to boot from that slot. Oh, okay. So John Fritz obviously has had an Apple II or Apple products. He knows the deal. Can I adjust this contrast down? Come on, contrast. I do have a capture card somewhere, but I have no idea where it is. It's still blurry for you guys. I can see that. Will this work here? I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. That's as good as I'm going to get it. But I'm going to hit enter here. And then run. Come on, N. No! There we go. And we got, well, I know you can't see it, but it is working. So I think maybe some Detoxit on the keyboard would fix this. I'm hoping. Let me turn this, get these lights going back on here if I can. And we'll go down to here. I'm just incredibly happy that this thing is friggin' working. Where are my lights? Where are my lights? There we go. There we go. Got lights back. So, oh, hobby hands. Glenn, what are you 3D printing? Oh, actually, my 3D printer did stop. So, the next Build-A-Cade I want to build is a Sega Turbo. So, we have the pedals. You see, we got, I already got the pedals going over there. So it's going to be a new sides. And that's what I'm working on right now. So we did Zaxxon, we've done the Glintendo hood, we've done Burger Time, Battle Zone, and I want a little Sega Turbo. So that's gonna be the side. So I just finished printing it over here. I should be able to get that off the build plate. There we go. Get that off the build plate. And clean this off. And what I'm actually going to do, if I clean this build plate off, there we go. Put this plate back in. Make sure it's in the right spot. And it is. So, you can see here, if I get this out of my screen, I can't even see. This will be a new side panel, which will turn the Build-A-Cade into a Sega Turbo. So that's the next one. You're going to see all the trees in there. So while you guys are here, you kind of, I guess you're going to hang out for a second while I pull this up. I'm going to go back into my slicer. And give me a second here. I got to put this in. I'll turn the screen so you can kind of see it. Let's see. If I do this, you should be able to see it. If I put this over here. And come back over here, you. So let me get me out of the way. There we go. So I'm in my slicer here, and I'm going to, this was the right side, I think I did. Try to see. Make this so you guys can see a little bit better. Why is that not coming out? I guess I can just do this. There we go. I forgot what side I did here. Back to prepare. Must have done the left panel. So we're going to get rid of the left panel. I know it's off the thing. I'll put the right panel. And we're going to take this panel and we're going to set it down on the build plate. Excellent. Bring this back over here. Take this one out of the running. Then I need to take this one and I need to do a rotation on it. And then reposition it on the build plate. I think that looks good. I think it looks good. Maybe move it over just a little bit. Like that. Then we're going to slice it. Let that slicing go through. And there's all our trees. And we're going to go to print. And I'm not going to do the auto leveling. Just start printing, baby. All right. Now that's done. Let's go over here. I'm going to go through the chat a little bit. So something I missed in the chat. Let me go through it right now. Let's see. You should do part 2 after you've done more fixing up. JJ, I'm going to. So now I didn't know the keyboard was working or not because I couldn't get the machine to boot up before. But now it is obviously working. So I'm going to do more cleaning up on this. Get some type of floppy emulator or floppy drive and play some games. That's what I really want this for. So there definitely will be a part 2 on this. Green Sammy, $20 super chat, bud. You have to do that, man. Save a hobby hands, $5, guys. You have to do that. Glad to see you back. Always nice to be kicking it old school. I really do appreciate you, Green Sammy, and everyone else who watched the show tonight. I missed you guys. I did. Glenn went to the dark side. I did. TV's too bright. I should have thought about that. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. but I do have a composite capture card, which is just not hooked up, and I didn't think about it, but maybe I'll do it next time when I do this. Tim York is here. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I had faith you could do it. I thanks. I'm just really ecstatic. PJ Racing, how you doing, buddy? I'm glad you guys joined me tonight. I'm glad that this Apple II is still on life support, but it is working. This thing, I am just so happy that it's doing something. I know you can't see it too well, but this bad boy is working. So I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. The show is over. Listen, Sunday's Mother's Day. My mother is no longer with us. My mother and father both passed in 2015 and 2020. But doesn't mean that there's people in your lives that are not either your mothers or your mothers, right? But in any case, try and wish everyone a happy Mother's Day this Sunday, including the dads who have to take on both jobs of mother and father. I'll see you guys next Friday. Hopefully we'll have more Build-A-Cade FU news. We'll have more news on the 720 stick. We'll have news on my next Build-A-Cade project. We'll have information on the Viper Arcade and a bunch of other things. So still a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. And again, I say it every week, except the last 2 weeks when I was being a little sissy Mary and crying myself for, well, stupid reasons, I suppose. In the grand scheme of things, the important thing is that you guys are here, and I'm here with you guys. That's all that matters to me, honestly. But remember to tell your mother or people who's your life a mother, Happy Mother's Day on Sunday. And for that, I thank you all for watching. I'll see you next week or next videos. In the meantime, everyone remember, game on.
That's what she said. Think about what you're doing. The building perimeter is covered.
Up. Let's go to the end song. There we go.
Cartridges, hit reset. 8-bit dreams, can't lose that bet. Floppy disks and arcade lights. Pac-Man, Frogger, we're playing all night. Simpsons in the background, neon in the air. 80s vibes, man, we didn't care. VHS tapes, staying up too late. Saturday cartoons, can't wait to escape. Dial-ups humming, we're hacking the code. Was in upload mode. Atari, Commodore, pixels on screen. Living in the future was more than a dream. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back. That's how we roll. We roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades, TV shows that ruled. You know we're kicking it old school. MTV playing our favorite jams. Moonwalking with MJ, Neon Slam. Ghostbusters gear, we're ready to go. Chasing slasher scenes, fears in tow. Back to the future, hop in the DeLorean. Knight Rider cruising, man, there's no ignoring them. Battlestar Galactica, what a ride. Looney Tunes, antics, pure joy inside. Blockbusters ruled, we lined up for days. Video games booted up in the pixelated maze. Movie marathons and popcorn nights. We ruled the screen, living in the lights. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back. That's how we roll. We roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled. You know we're kicking it old school. Grab your joystick, the game's about to start. A high-score world, now that's an art. We're cruising on hoverboards, living our dream. Old school forever, we're igniting the scene. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back. That's how we roll. We roll. It's time to to Kickin'it Old Skool, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold.